Greetings, I am Dr. Palmer with AmeriCorps Vista. If you're just joining, VISTA stands for Volunteers in Service to America. If you're returning, feel free to skip ahead. For those of you new to the program, I am here to present the Job and Life Skills Bootcamp that was developed by Ms. Laura Hunsberger, the Executive Director of Cornell University Cooperative Extension of Allegheny County, and Ms. Krista Humbert, the Coordinator of 4-H Youth Programming in conjunction with Allegheny County Employment and Training Office. Welcome to the Job and Life Skills Bootcamp. Don't worry, there are no push-ups involved. Welcome to Lesson D. The objectives are as follows. Students will be able to understand the components of job portfolio, prepare for an interview, use body language to their benefit, answer questions with confidence, and follow up with potential employers after an interview with confidence. First, let's warm up a bit before we discuss any of the topics. Included in this presentation are 2 short videos. The links are available on the slide if they are not already playing. The first is a commercial for Tide laundry detergent. As a disclaimer, I am not intentionally endorsing Tide as your choice of clothes detergent. Rather, the content in the commercial is applicable to the topic at hand, which is interviewing. Pause here now to watch the first video. The man in the video being interviewed appears to be doing everything right. He is dressed appropriately for the position he is applying for. He is selling his skills, and his body language exudes confidence. However, he overlooked one thing that might have cost him the job, the stain on his shirt, which is what Tide is supposed to be taking care of. This advertisement does a great job of showing how distracted an interviewer can be by something as small as a stain. Remember, do not give potential employer a reason to eliminate you. Check your clothing, all details. The second short video is an example of the generation gap between elders and millennials. The older man in the video is interviewing a young lady. As you watch the video, consider what she did right and how she can improve her interview skills. Pause here to play the video. So you've seen a couple of do's and don'ts in the interview from the previous videos. But what is a job interview? An interview is a contact with anyone who has the authority to hire or supervise a person with your skills. The person may or may not have a job opening at the time of the interview. But interviews can come in many forms, and depending on your career path, you may encounter one or all of the interview styles we will introduce. Face-to-face interviews are probably the most common, as are one-on-one interviews, which occur when one candidate interviews with one hiring authority in the same location, live and direct. Group interviews occur with more than one interview is present to ask a candidate questions about why the company should hire them to do the job. Group interviews can also be the inverse, where multiple candidates are present in one room and there is one or multiple hiring authorities. These interviews can be conducted in person or virtually. Typically, a group interview will only use technology when interviewing one person. As companies become less centralized in their physical locations, virtual, telephone, and group interviews will become more common. So ensure that you are prepared for future jobs. Become familiar with platforms such as Skype, Google Hangouts, and Zoom to ensure you are ready for what might occur. What do you think might be the pros and cons of each interview style from the perspective of the candidates and the interviewer? Feel free to answer this face-to-face if you are in a classroom or on the discussion board. So sorry. Here are some helpful tips to guide you through the group interview process. First, stay cool under pressure. Be sure to appear calm and confident. Your body language is important, so sit upright. Don't be repetitive. Do not repeat the same response another candidate has already given, even if it's the right answer. Maybe you can embellish as opposed to repeat. Do be memorable. Set yourself apart by sharing illustrative stories to demonstrate your strengths and experience. This can help you from being repetitive and can help you piggyback off of a prior good response from another candidate. Don't overdo it though. Don't dominate the conversation. Don't interrupt or put others down. Doing this will show that you are not a team player and that you may cause strife in the position. Play well with others, interact well, and show that you are an asset to the team setting. You can do this by listening. Don't forget to listen. Eye contact and engaged body language, such as leaning forward, will be picked up upon by the interviewer, and your response will be more thoughtful if you are actively listening. It can also help you not repeat. And then follow up. Follow up to each interviewer and reference something memorable that each person has said. So, how does one prepare for a job interview? Well, creating a career portfolio can make a difference and should be an essential for an interview because it helps you define your skills, gives you a better understanding of what your employers seek, and improves your ability to market yourself because you are consciously reviewing the material that you will include in your portfolio, which will increase your confidence when interviewing because the knowledge of what you can do is at the forefront in your brain. In essence, a good job portfolio should increase your chances for obtaining a good job and meeting your future goal. So let's look at the components of a career portfolio. A letter from a principal or school superintendent or guidance counselor can be included. Your resume, a high school transcript, your essay on career goals or your cover letter, a summary of skills or gist card, credentials such as diplomas and or certificates of recognition, awards. And optional items can include writing samples, teacher recommendations, or depending on what industry you're going through, artist samples. Credentials such as high school diploma, certificates of completion, certifications such as Pro Start, ServeSafe, computer certifications, Adobe Photoshop, OSHA are great things to include. Certificates of recognition such as honor roll, attendance, and extracurricular activities can help show that you strive for excellence. Awards of distinction and any other awards such as community recognitions can be included. Some other optional items can be your school profile, list of accomplishments, letters of recommendation, examples of your work, sports vita, and documentation of other abilities. Be aware that up to 70% of communication is nonverbal. Most people take body language for granted, but paying attention to how you carry yourself can make the difference in you getting the job or failing. According to psychology studies, body language seems to have three major uses: as a conscious replacement for speech, as reinforcement to speech, or as a mirror or betrayer of mood. There are 6 universal facial expressions according to anthropologists. They include anger, disgust, fear, happiness, sadness, and finally, surprise. Recently, some scientists have argued that the looks of contempt and embarrassment are also universal. So let's look at some job do's and don'ts when using your body effectively during a job interview. Number 1, do carry one item. Carrying more than one item can make you seem disorganized and can fluster an otherwise confident candidate. Ensure you wear clean and comfortable shoes. If you purchase a new pair of shoes, break them in before the interview. Your physical comfort or lack thereof may show up in your facial expressions and may not send the desired message of enthusiasm you are attempting to convey. Sit slightly angled. Sitting slightly angled, according to Vanessa Van Edwards, who is the creator of this infographic, conveys the message that we're on the same side. Sitting directly in front of a person can be interpreted by some as confrontational. Finally, be poised. This means exude confidence. Prior to going into the interview, assume a power pose. Stand squarely with hands on hips. Alternatively, stand with feet shoulder width apart, toes, hips, and shoulders forward. Bring arms above your head with palms facing each other. Yoga instructors note that assuming this pose raises people's testosterone levels. Note, all human beings have some form of this predominantly male hormone. This allows people to be prepared to face challenges, compete, and complete. Some things to avoid while in the interview are smiling too much, which can make you appear nervous. In formal settings, you want to convey a sense of friendliness and openness with a smile during the beginning and the close of the interview. By all means, if your interview makes a joke, you may smile, but remain professional. Avoid pursing your lips. This can be interpreted as if you are holding something back. Avoid also biting your lips, which can also make you seem nervous. Try not to cross your arms, which can make you seem closed off, nervous, or as if you are defensive. If you are crossing your arms, try to avoid fiddling nervously with your clothes, face, or hair, or speaking with your hands. Instead of crossing your arms, assume a position where you interlace your fingers and place them on the desk in front of you. This will help compose you. Another tip is to make eye contact, but do not linger. If you are shy, this might be particularly difficult, so practice in the mirror. Try not to gaze too long at someone. Allow your eyes to observe the room. Read the lips of your interviewer to keep on task, and take note of the body language of the interviewer and try to mimic them. Sometimes mimicking them can help develop trust between the two people. Remember, though, body language is cultural, so do your research before going into an interview. For instance, in the Middle East, same gender eye contact tends to be more intense and sustained than in the West. However, in many Asian, African, and Latin American countries, unbroken eye contact is considered aggressive and confrontational. Try to find out who will interview you. Sometimes you may be able to call ahead of time to ask who will be conducting the interview by calling the secretary and politely asking the question. Remember, you do not know where you will end up in your life and career work, so be prepared for all situations. Be flexible. Depending on the job you are applying for, you will be expected to present yourself in a certain way as dictated by the industry standards. If this is the first job you are applying, you may not feel comfortable wearing certain clothes because you are just not used to them. Regardless of the industry, make sure you are comfortable in what you are wearing. Young men applying for entry-level positions should wear button-down shirt, either light blue or white. Make sure what you are wearing is clean and without stains. Khaki or gray slacks or chinos are acceptable for most service industry or office job interviews. A tie is a nice touch, as is a jacket, but you do not have to wear both. Choose one or the other. Loafers or dress shoes should fit well and be polished. Suit jackets, again, are optional. Carhartt pants and construction boots are acceptable if you are applying for a position in construction or other blue-collar positions. Wear a belt, make sure you are clean and smell good, but do not overuse the Axe body spray. Avoid wearing hats, sunglasses, or jewelry. Hair should be neatly brushed and away from your face. Facial hair should be clean and neat, brushed or shaved. Young ladies should follow similar rules, however, they have more options. A simple button-down shirt, either long sleeve shirt or short sleeve, a pantsuit or skirt in muted colors. Skirts should be cover the knees, and stockings are neutral color, and they should be worn. If you are comfortable wearing heels, they should be no taller than 2 to 3 inches and closed-toed. Otherwise, flats are acceptable. Accessories are okay, however, they should be small and complement your outfit rather than distract. If it moves, makes noise, or induces fidgeting, avoid it. Regardless of your gender, be conservative. If you have tattoos, cover them up. Stick to muted colors in your clothes and make sure your clothes fit and are comfortable. They should be fitted but not constricting. If your clothes are new, wear them on and off a few days before the interview in order to find issues and fix them before the big day. Avoid wearing revealing clothes that show off your physique. Cover your midriff, toes, cleavage, or arms. Remember to present your best self, but in a conservative way. Who are you? What do you do? What makes you unique? And how do you do it, or who does it affect? Why does it even matter? These basic questions should answer with an elevator pitch. An elevator pitch is a way of introducing yourself quickly and on the spur of the moment. This way of introducing yourself is called so because imagine you enter an elevator with a person who could give you your dream job or help you fulfill your most important goal. In the elevator, you can get the person's undivided attention because of the small space, but there is a limited amount of time before the doors will open and you may never get to speak to that person again. The elevator pitch allows you to succinctly explain who you are, what you do, and why they should care. Your elevator pitch will change as you do, but it is a good starting point to get you used to talking about your strengths and goals. Having a prepared elevator pitch is a useful tool during a job interview when a hiring authority says, "Tell me a little bit about yourself." Have a go. We have prepared a worksheet for you, so pause this presentation and begin to fill it out, and then begin to practice it in the mirror or record it. Three steps to answering problem questions during an interview. Understand what is really being asked. Can I depend on you? Are you easy to get along with? Are you a good worker? Do you have the experience and training to do the job if you are hired? Remember to answer the question briefly. Avoid rambling by acknowledging facts. If you lack experience, spin it as an advantage, not a disadvantage. Say something like, "What I lack in experience, I make up for in enthusiasm and energy." Or, "I'm looking forward to getting a job at your business because I am interested in building these skills and continuing to develop my resume to meet my future goals." Answer the real concern by presenting your related skill. Base your answer on your key skills and give examples to support those skill statements. Refer to your resume or other supporting documents in your career portfolio. It is always a good idea to review your materials prior to an interview. The close. Once the interview is complete, the interviewer may or may not ask you if you have any questions. Try to ask at least one. The most relevant may be, when will I hear back from you? Or when did the position start? When you are ready to leave, thank the interviewer by name. Tell them that you are interested in the job and the organization, and arrange a time to call back. Finally, say goodbye, make eye contact, smile, and shake hands firmly and with confidence. To conclude, do your homework about the company. Gather and organize a portfolio to sell yourself and review it a few times prior to your interview. Practice referring to specific skills or positions that match the job you are applying. Get rest and eat well. Expend any nervous energy by exercising or meditating. Groom yourself. During the interview, make eye contact, shake the interviewer's hand, and speak with authority. Answer the questions with confidence and honesty. Follow up with a thank you note or email a few days after the interview so that you stay in the interviewer's mind, and when they are ready to make the final decision about who to hire, you pop up. Thank you again for watching and listening to this presentation. We look forward to working with you and hearing from you with any comments that you have. Thank you.